I'm Trina J. I recently started Pretty Motivated. I started out as a makeup artist. As soon as I graduated from college, I wanted to do makeup, make women look beautiful. And I think, something about the external transformation that was happening with the clients and seeing, okay, wow, I'm this fabulous, really? And then I think somehow that translated into inner transformation, right? And I think that's where I find my passion, is helping people see how beautiful they really are, how amazing they are, and helping them get to the next level. So Pretty Motivated is all about pretty and motivation, just blending those two worlds together. As a freelance makeup artist, I couldn't really figure out how to blend makeup and motivation. I'm like, those two worlds don't exactly coexist, right? So how do I cultivate something that would make sense to have those two things in one place? So yeah, being pretty is awesome and beautiful, but if you can cultivate that same inner beauty, then you're pretty damn amazing. Can I say that? But yeah, so you're pretty amazing if you can do that. I don't think that I speak without saying Tony Robbins, because he's my guru, but he doesn't know me, kind of thing. Because he really, something about his message and his, rhyme and reason to his formula, really it resonated with me in a way that other things that I had been exposed to at the time, it could have been timing, it could have just been Tony, but it's something about finding out your why and really digging deeper. It was like, as Oprah would call it, an aha moment. So I definitely, learned a lot from, a lot of his audio tapes. I'm in the car, say yes, yeah, I'm sure the person next to me is like, that little girl's crazy. But so that was huge. But then, recently I went to Oprah's event, and I love Deepak and Lisa Nichols most recently. So I just love the whole industry of self-help, motivation, self-development, unleashing your full potential, whatever you want to call it. I'm just really kind of like an enthusiast, obsession, but it's a healthy obsession. So I really gravitate towards all of those, just powerful messages that I think each time that you listen to someone different, even though, for a large part, it's kind of like the same thing, right? But I think when someone else speaks it from their heart, or share their story, sometimes it just hits you at the right time and you're like, I get it now. Or you're like, I needed to get that today. I needed to remember that. Because sometimes it's things that but you might need a refresher in that moment. So sometimes, that. But those are the people that I like. I love all those people. To be in a place where you need to listen to someone like Tony, and I think anyone can benefit from it, but I was definitely at a very troubling place in my 20s, right? So just very lost, looking for myself in jobs, looking for myself in relationships, looking for myself in Nordstrom shoe section, and not finding anything. And then understanding that the reason that I'm here, the reason that I'm looking for those things is because, I had an absent father. And I was raised by my grandmother, and so I didn't get a lot of the early self-love kind of thing that you develop. So I was looking for external validation. And so there's something so, revealing, but there's also something so powerful in finding out that that's what's going on. I'm looking for something. And I can buy the pair of shoes, and I walk out that first time, and it's like, you can't touch this, But then after that, it's like, oh, those shoes. It's time for a new high, right? Because it's a new reason to love yourself. But then, that coupled with yoga, it helped me to understand that you've got to cultivate self-love from within. And all that other stuff becomes just the candy. It's like the sugar on top. And so really understanding that I have to be okay with who I am, the good, the bad, and the stuff that needs to get better, and we're working on it. And so I think, I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect, but I can definitely look at how I cope with challenges and definitely see the difference. I can see there's so much more self-awareness. Like, are you really upset about this, or is it something else? And then, yoga is so huge because yoga allows you to kind of tap into the breath. It's like, okay, come to center, find that place, that peaceful place, and it doesn't cost anything. I didn't have to buy shoes, and maybe you don't have a lot of time. So finding a way to cultivate that inner peace in any situation is such a gift. And so my why now has changed to helping other young women. I don't know what it is about the 20s. What is it? But I guess my heart is there. Not to say that I couldn't help and cultivate strength and share a message that inspires other people of, all kinds of different backgrounds and age groups. But I think I have such a special place in my heart for that transition from, leaving the nest, and then trying to figure out who you are. And the world is telling you who you should be every day. And I identify with that so well. So now my why is, how can I help other women have the tools that they need to find themselves and cope with the challenges, because there will be challenges, such as life. But that's my new why, and that feels so much more gratifying than, asking myself a question like, am I worthy? Because I am, right? Yeah. And we all are. That felt good to say that, right? So that's the thing, is just being able to help inspire people. Well, I think that, I love the whole exposing the Photoshop, right? That's like one of my favorites of like, yeah, her waist isn't that slim, you cut it. It's like, oh, that looks so good. But I think that that's a huge part. I think that, the transparency with reality TV, with its blessing and its curse side, shows that, there's so much that's happening to those images that we see. And there are so many people behind the beautiful people that are making them beautiful. There's makeup artists, there's, fashion stylists, there are hairstylists, there are all these people that are manipulating the image to make it look pretty, right? But that person is a human being, and when they wake up before the glam scot comes in, they are who they are. And I think makeup is fun, right? Because I like makeup. I mean, it's fun. The way that you feel, it's like a fashion accessory. You can, do a little smoky eye for a little extra, and then you can, play up your personality with different bold colors and different things like that. So I struggled for a while with the, I think I was like anti-makeup, like pro-hippie anti-makeup for a while. And I think that I think you have to use makeup just to have fun. And you have to use fashion just to have fun. And you have to be comfortable with your skin. Should you be healthy? Absolutely, because everybody knows I'm like crazy healthy person. But I don't think that we should measure our worth by our size, or by, how many likes we got on our Instagram selfie, So I think the biggest thing is, the biggest message we can say is, you are amazing. 6 a.m., snotty nose, whatever, you're amazing. Just as you are, because God made you. Just because God made you. Not because of what's in your closet, not because of, again, the selfie thing, not because of makeup, because you're amazing. And I think that also cultivates positivity even for someone who might be having a tough spot, right? Because sometimes you may know it on Monday, but forget it on Wednesday. So I think it's something special about being able to understand that in your rawest and most beautiful form, just because you're breathing, you're beautiful. I saw that on Instagram today. It was like, it's okay to just have a day where you breathe. And I was like that. right? Because we think that we are our achievements, you know. I think that's a huge one for us today, now that young women are taking on so much in career world, right? So now we're measuring ourselves by the strength of our resume and our LinkedIn profiles. And I think we just have to be careful. Those things are really great, but we can't define our worth. We have to tread lightly on that kind of thing. And I think the thing that we can do for each other is applaud each other and don't tear each other down, like, oh my God, I can't believe she's wearing that. You know, or, you know, yeah, I look so much better in that dress. It's like you have to understand, where is that coming from within yourself? Because if you need to say something negative about another woman, older, younger, whatever, it's definitely something that's going on internally. And you have to be willing and courageous enough to have that conversation with yourself, to ask yourself, why, right? Are you know, pulling someone else down? I feel like there's always this balance between your big grandiose goals, because there's definitely some ego in there, and we need it a little bit. So as I embrace my ego, I want Pretty Motivated to do huge live events, because I think live events just create so much energy for young women, empowering things. I thought about, like, you know, I went to Tony Robbins' event, we walked on fire. I was like, well, maybe girls need to walk on a catwalk. I don't know, like, what do we do? So I'm thinking of things like that, where we can really touch and impact lives. And I would love to be at the forefront of that, but I would love to have other miraculous, wonderful women that join on board that say, hey, Trina, you're doing a good thing, but let me take it higher. And I'm all, you know, like, that's what it's about. So that's what I want to see. I want to see that, you know, what I'm doing, putting my heart, my story out there, actually positively impacts people. I love it when someone says something that you said or something that you did, you know, made me think a little bit more, or changed my perspective, or I had never thought of that. Because I don't think that we change people. I think the seeds that we plant allow them to change themselves. And so I just want to plant seeds that people continue to water and grow from that. Super. Like, women, when we love each other and when we get together in spaces like this, it is phenomenal. When we love each other without any kind of blocks or any kind of, you know, judgment, and we just say, hey, you're doing awesome things. I know you're doing awesome things too. It feels good, and I think we heal the world because we are the givers of life. So if we can give each other life, imagine what kind of life we can infuse into the men we're around, into our children. We change the game. We are the beginning. And so when we exude our power and embrace each other's power, it becomes phenomenal.